Hey, so today I'm actually speaking to you from Just Breathe Yoga Center here in Douglasville, where I teach beginner yoga and yin yoga on Mondays. I call it my mental health Monday because it's just not about me practicing with others who come here. It's about me being able to still have my advocacy within mental health and helping others take a breath where needed. And so, my journey to yoga, my kids say I've been doing yoga forever. I have pictures to prove it. It's just that I didn't really take it serious. I think being a Christian too, I didn't know if it was a religious thing. But over time and over studies and things like that, I saw that, it basically is an exercise, especially as we get older. But yoga isn't just about the poses, and this is where the 8 limbs of yoga, which is if you could research it yourself, really spoke to me about removing generational curses and things that no longer serve us, holding on to the ego, and those are things that I've also looked for before in other practices or even religions. I remember looking at Kabbalah at one time just to understand, how to stop being reactive all the time and what was that about. But anyway, through the filming of my mental health doc, I came across the Holistic Life Foundation. Shout out to Ali, Andreas, and Atman, who all came together, the AAA team, the A team, in Baltimore, Maryland, to help kids who are dealing with like the Freddie Ray riots, and just a lot of trauma, because like Ali says, we're not neurologically able to let go of that. When we're in schools, it truly affects us. I know this growing up in a very violent, abusive family, and was physically and verbally abused by my mom because that's how she was taught. Nothing against her, she's not here anymore, and she did the best she could with what she had. But I wanted to unlearn some of these patterns, and at the same time dealing with, meeting my dad, finding my dad who I thought abandoned me, only to find out that he was schizophrenic and bipolar since I was 4. I met him at 15, and the family didn't tell me. The family didn't say, oh, he's schizophrenic. So I had daddy issues, bad relationships, some good, not all bad, thank God, because I would have never met my ex-husband and had our beautiful daughters. But even that, is that why relationships didn't work? Because I didn't have the tools. All that to say, I knew I needed to change something about me, especially raising 2 young women. And part of that was learning how to heal within and to release blockages that no longer serve me. And during 2020, which was the highlight of my anxiety and stress and even some depression, I lost everything. I went from, especially because I was an executive attorney of broadcasting in 2014, they laid me off 17 years after having 6 figures and having to start all over again. Thank God for Balance and Acts Entertainment, which I started in 2001. But I had to kind of relearn new tools and new things. And then just as I was getting my groove and making some good money, 2020 came smashing. And I found Boho Beautiful Life, which is like Juliana and Mark. They started their own practice online. They made it available. And I just started really like shed old wounds and things like that. And then I found my Vinyasa practice, which is in Austin, Texas. Michelle Young and the entire team there, they really just helped me learn the whole picture of yoga. And that's when I decided to get my 200 hours and get certified, because I saw the yoga therapy component. Now, we're not therapists, but there's also a way that you really have to address certain things in our body that allow us to de-stress, detoxify. And again, it's not just about the poses, it's truly a way of life. As soon as I got certified, I was actually practicing here at Just Breathe Yoga Center, and it's run by Kimmy, who used to run a huge dance studio in Atlanta, and I was like, oh, I love this place. So when I decided to also enlist in 300 more hours with my vinyasa practice, I knew I needed to give away some karma classes, which is free. I knew I wanted to gift them to the studio, and so here I am. And yes, it's like having to prepare for it, making sure that I'm not just like winging it. There's a lot of that's involved, and with me being in grad school as well at Georgia State University, shout out to my Panthers, it can be a lot of work. I also teach HIIT Pilates, high intense Pilates at Georgia State Rec Center, which allows me to release those endorphins that also we need to do when we cause stress. So in just a bit, I don't have a watch on, but in just a bit I will be teaching beginner yoga class here, and I just wanted to share that, you know, from a mental health standpoint, how crucial and beneficial yoga has been for me. And again, not just about the poses, but really about just looking at all of the different ways that I can look into myself and figure out what no longer serves me, and daily taking that breath, that pranayama, meditating and giving myself moments to be still. And I pray and then I meditate when I can, because especially as a creative person, I have a million things going on in my head, and I literally go to bed. I don't even, it's like by the grace of God, I finally fall asleep, because it's like an 8-track tape for those of you in my generation, or a cassette tape just playing over and over and over, and just really allowing myself to stop the noise. And I will be doing a guided meditation here, because sometimes being still in your own head brings up a lot of trauma too. And I learned that from the Holistic Life Foundation, from Ali and Atman and Andreas. So I really am just so grateful to taking the steps and stepping out on faith. I damn near went broke doing my documentary. Excited to finally be editing it and giving it to you. I feel like I'm giving birth to my 3rd child. But to finally be able to get to a place to share it, I am still working on it. You will probably see more of these videos of me in progress, but it's coming together. And thankfully I went back to school and pivoted so that I could teach, which I'll be teaching production 1 in the fall. But thankfully I went back so that way I could learn really how to edit, and just excited about no longer leaving it just in my drives, but being able to say, oh my God, like, I'm doing this. So don't give up. And when you hit that wall, remember to lock arms with somebody and check on your strong friends. And in memory, in a silent moment for a second or two, for the recent suicide, and forgive me if I'm saying his name wrong, by Karen and Lacey, and then also the victim of the car accident that took his life, basically Mr. Herman Hall. I'd like to give a moment of silence for both of them, and just please, if you ever get to a place where, and again, Karen was the football player at LSU who allegedly just took his life, if you're not familiar with the story, after he sadly got into a car accident and allegedly, I guess it's been proven, killed Mr., I believe he was 78, Herman Hall. And so all families are affected. I call it infected. And, you know, Kieran was set to go into the NFL. He put everything I'm sure he had into preparing for that day. I know from just athletes that I've known, or cousins who ever since they were little boys have been playing, to get to that moment, to get to the highlight of your life, and an accident, a fatal accident happens, and you just don't know now the trajectory of everything you thought you were about to be. And same with Mr. Hall, you know, having his life taken from his kids and his grandkids. But even in the worst of it, we have to use our pain for purpose. We can't end our lives because we think we were supposed to go down this road and now it's not happening because, in my opinion, and this is me, God has stopped me from going down certain paths so that way I could be on this one. And even if that hurt like hell, I wasn't supposed to go down that road. I was supposed to go on the road, down the road that he had planned for me. And so that could have been something he could have done. He could have used his life, and unfortunately he's not here. But anyone listening, if you're in that place, please call 988. But remember, even in the worst of it, you can turn your pain for purpose. And I am proof of it, because trust me, I've lost everything only to find myself. So if I can do it, I know you can do it. And it's never easy, but just make sure that you have your tribe, someone to really talk to and ground yourself with. Again, I know I got winded, so let's do that moment of silence. And please check on your strong friends. The light and love in me honors the light and love in each and one of you. I pray that you have an amazing day. Stay blessed and always stay encouraged. Namaste.